Tracey and Violet from Tea Time with Tracey and Violet. It is late at night. I am over here. Make your appearance, Violet, for goodness sakes. I don't want them to think that I'm making you up. There she is. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Anyways, it's late at night. The kids have gone to bed, long since gone to bed. I gotta lift you guys up a bit. There. Is that better? And I was having a cup of tea with you guys, made a couple videos, but I still have a little tea left in this cute little teapot my husband got for Christmas. He's gone to the city. I'm gonna use this teapot, but I'll show you the girl I brought out today. I don't know if she's been out with you guys or not, but look at this. Just look at it. Just look at it. Oh yeah. Look at those. I have one of those lights there. Look at the blue and the yellow. Now, there's gold there up around the top and down around the ring of the bottom. And on the handle, she has gold on this side, and it all goes down even on the sides there. Like, she ain't playing. No. And on the back. And you can see this cup is kind of, it's not just flat, there's swirls in it. There, you can kind of see that way. Swirls, and this is her back side, like the bow on the back of her dress. Beautiful. And that is her skirt or pedestal. And it has those little rivulets in it too, and gold around the far edge here. This is made in England, Delphine bone china. So there's that. I'm having some orange cinnamon tea today. I get about 3 cups of tea out of this, so I've had 1 cup of tea with each book I've talked about. And it's the right kind of hot now. The first one burned my face off hot, the second one blow on it and I can drink it hot, and this one is just right. I do like a good, really good hot cup of tea though. It's still hot, but not burn your face off hot. So the book I wanted to talk to you about is called 1 Second After. Yeah, this is like a apocalyptic kind of book, end of the world kind of book. Not quite, but kind of. This is the second time I read it. The first time I read it was in paperback. The second time I read it this past month, like in December, was on Audible. Because I was like, oh, I really like this book when I read it. And I want to talk about it, but I want to refresh my memory about it. I remembered it, but just in more detail. So I do recommend the audiobook too. It was very good, but the book is super easy to read. It's kind of long, but it doesn't seem like it's that long when you read it. Well, yeah, it's over 500 pages. This one is 510 pages. So kind of long, but it doesn't seem that long when you read it. This kind of book is a scary book to me. To me, this is a horror book. Give me ghosts, give me spirits, give me devils, demons, hauntings. Don't scare me. Something like this scares me. So let me quickly read the back of it for you. 1 Second After is a story of a man struggled to save his family in the small North Carolina town after America loses a war that sends our nation back to the Dark Ages. A war lost because a terrifying weapon, electromagnetic pulse, or EMP, that may already be in the hands of our enemies. Months before publication, 1 Second After was cited on the floor of Congress as a book all Americans should read. It has been discussed in the corridors of the Pentagon, and a realistic look at the EMPs and their awesome ability to send catastrophic shockwaves throughout the United States, literally within seconds. EMPs are a weapon that the Wall Street Journal warned could shatter our nation. In the tradition of on the bench, fail-safe, and testament, this book is a typical American town in dire warning of what might be our future and our end. So, yes, there's a foreword by Newt Gingrich. That interests you, whatever. I'm Canadian, so. Yeah, so basically this is about a man. He's a well-educated man. He was in the military, like as a strategist or something like that. But he was a professor at a university. Kind of a pretty good to-do university. The North Carolina town, it's not like a big city. It's like a town, and a college town kind of thing, or a university town, but a fairly well-to-do one. And he is a dad of two girls. One is a teenager and one is 9 or 10 or something like that. The younger one has diabetes, the type of diabetes she has to have insulin injected. So just putting that out there. So one day, lo and behold, an EMP happens. If you don't really know what an EMP is, which I'm sure most of you do, but if you don't, electromagnetic pulse will fry anything with the circuit. So cars won't start that are made after some time in the 60s. Watches, internet, TV, blenders, microwaves, nothing will work. So it's like, whoop, that's it. You know, telephones, nothing. So it doesn't sound, it's not a power outage. It's like everything stops. You can't drive your car. So if your car doesn't work, any of the transport trucks that deliver food to towns and things, none of those work. Ships don't work. Airplanes don't work. Nothing of that works. So this happens all over America and Canada, I'm assuming. I forget. I don't know. This just focuses on his little town. So this goes over a span of a year. So you can imagine when this first goes out, people start to panic a bit, but it's not so serious. Like they don't lose hope. They think, oh, well, you know, the government will take care of us. We'll get through this. We have enough food. So within the first month, things start to drastically change because people are starting to run out of food because nobody really stockpiles food. They're not preppers or anything like that. And when people are starving or starting to starve, they get desperate. So there's a run on stores. And then when the run is over, they start being raided. And the first month, or, you know, if no more medication or food is coming into the grocery stores and people aren't relying on their own farms or anything like that, there's only so much food to go around. There's only so much medication to go around. So the seniors that are in nursing homes, the people that are in hospitals, generators work for a little while, but when gas runs out. That's it. So the first month, you know, things get by, but as time goes on, things get more desperate. For him and his family, you gotta remember, his youngest daughter requires insulin. So how terrifying would that be to be a parent of a child that requires medication for that child to live? Insulin needs to be refrigerated, and there is no power. I'll leave that. So as time goes on, the town starts to struggle. There's crime. There's other characters in these books, like the sheriff and other prominent and maybe not so prominent, but good, respectable people with some sort of a strategic background or military background. They kind of band together. Not to take over the place, but to, pull their heads together to figure out how are we going to get this town under control? And how are we going to, when towns really get out of control, what's going to stop people from coming out of the cities? I couldn't even imagine being in a city and an EMP hit and not have anything. Ooh, terrifying. What are we going to do when people from the cities start coming out to the countries in hopes of finding supplies because there's nothing left in the cities? And there's way more people in the city, so if they come in droves, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? There's no planes, there's no hope, there's no government representation coming. There's been 6 months and nobody comes, and they're left to fend for themselves. So that's what this book is, and it gets pretty intense, pretty graphic, and I really enjoyed it, but it really made me sick to my stomach thinking of, holy cow, I want to have a cottage out in the middle of nowhere with a cold storage and a whole bunch of dehydrated food and stockpiled medication, and yeah, that's what it made me feel. Yeah. So things, as it progresses on, yeah, there's threats, outside threats a bit. So there's no military or anything like that. They start to kind of recruit some of the younger people that are at the university to be like their armed forces. So some training is going on. It's nothing sophisticated, but they start to build blockades. But they can only do so much. So it's the process of that and how far some people go when there's nobody to rein them in. You know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Animal Farm, you know. Yeah, I would 100% recommend this book. There's 3 books in this series. I haven't read book 2 or book 3. I do have them. And I really had to take a break from this because I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. Not in a bad way. Like, I don't think I could read anymore because thank God that's over. I lived through it. But it's just because it really had a shock value. To me, it did. Anyways, there was a lot of intensity in this book. So to me, this is an absolute horror story. It might not be for you. It might just be an enjoying read. Horror story for me. But 1 Second After, and it's by William R. Forstchen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But I do look forward. I think I've put a bit of a break between me. I'll either read the second book this month or next month. I don't know whether it's going to have the same impact as this book did. I don't know. But I'm curious to see where it goes. And do people start coming back to normal, I guess, in the sense of society? And should it? You know? And is there consequences for what happened? I don't know. I really don't know. But 1 Second After, I would recommend for sure. So that's all I'm going to say about this. I'm going to finish my tea up. I have a few other books to talk about. Whether I get to them today or not, I don't know. But yeah, just a little blurb. Just a little blurb. It's 10:34 at night. The wind is blowing and it'll slice you right in two if you go out in the cold right now. So I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I will, maybe, see you tomorrow. Bye. Bloop.